So Treasury bills are debt instruments issued by the CBN on behalf of the federal government. Treasury bills are used by the government to source funds from the public. Bills are very important investment instruments because they are very low risk. They are guaranteed by the government. So you don't have any risk of default like the other instruments you might have. The risk factors are much, much less. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another interesting session with us on TWI. So today we'll be talking about Treasury bills, or T-bills for short. I'll be using T-bills for the most part of this video. So what are Treasury bills? I'm sure many of you are wondering, or you would have read in the news or seen in the news about the federal government, Treasury bills, and what have you. So Treasury bills are debt instruments issued by the CBN on behalf of the federal government. Treasury bills are used by the government to source funds from the public. It also used to control macroeconomic indicators of the economy. And that's not our focus for this video, but it has a lot of useful purposes for the government. But for us here today, we are looking at it as investors or prospective investors, how it applies to us. So treasury bills are short-term debt instruments. We say short-term because the tenure usually runs for less than a year, usually 364 days and less. So they're short-term debt instruments. Okay, so treasury bills are very important investment instruments because they are very low risk. They are guaranteed by the government. So you don't have any risk of default like the other instruments you might have. The risk factors are much, much less with treasury bills because it has the guarantee of the government. Like I said, treasury bills are issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Okay, so the risk of default is very minimal. The risks are very, in fact, they are like zero risk investments, I would say, because the government is not going to fall apart, hopefully. So they are zero risk investments. Okay, so how do you invest in treasury bills? There are two primary sources or two primary ways by which there are two major ways rather by which you invest in treasury bills, through the primary market or the secondary market. So the primary market is the institution where the federal government auctions these treasury bills to the public. But the challenge with the primary market is that the minimum investment amount is quite high. It's 50 million and above. So if you don't have up to 50 million naira, you won't be able to participate in the auction organized by the CBN. Okay. But for retail investors, which I believe many people in our audience will fall amongst, you can play with treasury bills at the secondary market. So by reaching out to an investment or an asset management company, they can help you assess treasury bills for smaller amounts. As low as 100,000 naira, you can buy treasury bills. Okay. So there's what is called face value of the investment. So usually, treasury bills are bought. That is particularly at the primary market phase. You buy treasury bill at face value. So you buy at a discounted price, and then at the maturity of the tenure of the treasury bill, you get it at face value. So I'll give you a practical example. Let's say the face value price of the treasury bill is 1 million naira. Let's assume the units go for about a million naira, and then you're buying it for say 900,000 naira. So that 900,000 naira is the discounted price you're paying for the treasury bills. So at the end of the tenure, let's say it's a 91 day or a 184 day or a 364 day treasury bill, what you're going to be getting as payment from the government will be 1 million naira. So you have made a profit of 100,000 naira. So this is just an example, just to illustrate how these treasury bills work. So if you want to get started, the first thing to do is to get a stockbroker, get a broker, and then from the broker can now link, particularly for us as retail investors, get a broker, and then the broker will now do the purchases for you from the asset companies that offer the services at the secondary market, ARM, Meristem, and several others, Chapel Hill, Denham, and several other firms in the asset management, financial services sector are there to offer the treasury bills to you. So, like I said at the start, the interest, so the risks are very, very minimal. Um, there's zero risk, more or less, because it's backed by the full weight of the government. And then it's a fixed income investment instrument. So you're already sure of how much you're going to make. So where you have a particular project you want to execute and you need a particular sum of money. I remember someone told the story of wanting to buy a car for 50 million, and they had 200 million naira in the account, and so they just went to their broker and said, how much money do I need to invest to get a return of 50 million at so and so time? And they did the numbers, and the person needed to put in like 200 million, and at the maturity of the bill, the person had made a return of about 50 million, and so the person just used the 50 million to solve a particular problem that they wanted to solve. In that case, it was a car they wanted to buy, so they bought a car worth the value that the returns gave to them. So the return on investment is good. It's upwards of 10, 14%, upwards of 10, 14%. Of course, it's dependent on the situation in the country, macroeconomic factors, like I mentioned. I don't want to go into all the details of that. I want to speak to our interests as subscribers on this channel. So I believe this video has enlightened you on how to go about treasury bills. But peradventure, you still have more questions. You still have one or two areas where you need clarity. You can drop your questions in the comment section. Peradventure, you want one-on-one guidance on how to buy your treasury bills. We'll be more than glad to help you. We have access to stockbrokers that can facilitate the transaction. So we'll just link you up with very reliable stockbrokers to get all the transactions done, and you're sure of your returns at the appropriate time. So in case you are yet to subscribe to this channel, would appreciate it if you can subscribe at this time. Turn on your notifications. Please like this video if you have enjoyed it, if you have learned a thing or two. Drop your questions, drop your comments in the comment section. Those comments go a long way in helping us to grow this channel. So until next time, it's been nice knowing that you're there to see this video, and we hope that what you've learned from this short video, you'll be able to put to practice and implement immediately. Thank you. Until next time. Have a good time. Bye-bye.